Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear grade 5 students, welcome again. Today we will solve Cumulative Assessment 3 till Lesson 5 Unit 1. Number 1. Compare. Write smaller than, greater than, or equal. A. 5 in thousandths or 5 in hundredths. Of course, 5 in hundredths is the bigger. Or we can cut the number from the decimal part here. Cut from the decimal part. The whole here is 0 and the whole here also is 0, so they are equal in whole. Let's move to the decimal. The first decimal digit is 0 and the first decimal also is 0. Let's move to the second. The second here is 0, but the second here is 5, so of course 5 will be greater. Let's move to B. 10.1 or 10.011, I will cut from the decimal part here. I will cut from the decimal part. The whole here is 10 and the whole here is 10, so they are equal. Let's move to the decimal. The first decimal digit is 1, but the first decimal digit here is 0, and we know that 1 is greater than 0. Let's move to C. 3.198 and 3.2. I will cut from the decimal part again. I will cut from the decimal part. The whole here is 3 and the whole here also 3, so the wholes are equal. Let's move to the decimal. The first decimal is 1 and the first decimal is 2. Stop. Of course 2 will be bigger than 1. Let's move to D. 24 in the whole. 24 in the whole, so the wholes are equal. Let's move to the decimal. The decimal here is 6 and the decimal here is 6. We know that these zeros are meaningless, so they are equal. Let's move to E. Let's compare the whole. The whole here is 14. The whole here is 41. So don't continue. Of course, 41 is bigger than 14. And if we want to write this mixed number as a decimal, we can write 14.315. This 5 will sit on the 0, this 1 will sit on the 0, this 3 will sit on the 0, so the answer will be 14.315 or 14 and 315 thousandths. Let's move to F. 2 ones and 2 hundredths. 2 ones, so I will write the whole 2. 2 in hundredths, so I write 0, 2. So this 2 ones, 2 hundredths, and here 2.2, which is bigger? We will compare the whole and the decimal. The whole here is 2, the whole here is 2. The first digit in decimal here is 0, the first digit in decimal here is 2, so of course 2 will be bigger than 0. Let's move to G. 15 thousandths means I write 15 over 1000. This 5 will sit on the 0 and this 1 will sit on the 0, so the answer will be 0 point. The 0 is empty, so I write 0, 15. Or thousandths means 3 digits, 1, 2, 3. 3 digits in the decimal part, and I will put 15 here. So the answer will be 0.015. Here we have 0.01 plus 0.005. This one in hundredths. And this 5 in thousandths. To compose these two decimal numbers, I write 0.015. So they are equal. Now let's move to number 2. Choose the correct answer. 36.214 times 100. Let's remember the multiplying and dividing decimals. If I have a decimal point and I told you multiply, that means I will move the decimal point to right according to the number of zeros. And if I said divide, this means I will move the decimal point to the left according to the number of zeros. Here he said multiply by 100, so we will move the decimal point 2 digits according to the number of zeros. So let's move the decimal point two digits, 1, 2. So the new decimal point will be here between 1 and 4. So the answer will be 3, 6, 2, 1.4, which is letter C. Let's move to B. 5.361 is greater than, so I need number here smaller than this. So if we cut this number from the decimal part, we will find the whole here will be 5, and I need number smaller than 5. Let's cut this number. The whole here is 5. I need smaller than 5. The whole here is 5. I need smaller than 5. The whole here is 5. I need smaller than 5. But the whole here is 3, smaller than 5. So I will choose D. Let's move to C. 316 divided by 10. We can write this as a fraction like this. 316 over 10. And this 6 will set on this 0. So the answer will be 1.6. Or as we said before, in division, I will move the decimal point to the left according to the number of zeros. I will move the decimal point from here one digit to the left because I have 10. So the answer will be 31.6 also. So the answer will be B. In the problem 74.8 divided by 10, the value of the digit 4 decreased. Why he said decreased? Because this is a division. So if I divided this number by 10, I will move the decimal point from here to the left one digit. So the answer will be 7.48. 4 here was in ones, and here it becomes in tenths. So I will choose 4 over 10, which is 4/10. Let's move to number 3. How to order this number from least to greatest? We said that we will cut the decimal number from here. 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 I need to order from least, from the small to greatest, which is big. The smallest number here will be this 32 or this 32. Which is smaller between them? The first digit in the decimal here is 1. But the first digit in decimal here is 4. So of course 1 will be smaller than 4. So this will be number 1 and this will be number 2. Which one from these numbers will be number 3 and number 4? This 32 and this 32 also in the whole part. So let's compare the decimal part. The decimal here is 1. But the first digit in decimal here is 4. Of course 4 bigger than 1. So the smaller will be this number and the bigger will be this number. Let's solve B. I will cut from the decimal point. I will cut from the decimal point from here, from here. Whole here is 1. Whole here is 1. Whole here is 1. Whole here is 1. So all of the wholes here are equal. I will compare the decimals. I need the smallest decimal number here. The first digit in decimal here is 3. 1, 5, 3. So of course 1 is the smallest one, will be number 1. Let's compare the second digit. The second digit here is 5. The second digit here is 1. Which is smaller? Of course 1. So this will be number 2. This will be number 3. And this will be number 4. And we know that this will be the bigger from the beginning. Why? Because the first digit in the decimal part is 5 and it is the bigger digit in the tenth. Now let's move to question number 4. Use place value chart to solve the following problem. Fill in the blanks to show how the value of each digit also changed. When I multiply 85 times 10, it will be 85 and add 0. So it was 85, and when I multiplied it by 10, it becomes 850. So of course the value of the whole number increased because we multiplied. B. The value of the digit 5. This 5. What happened to 5? Increased. when multiplying by 10, he said value. So when we multiply by 10, 5 increased from ones, which was 5, to be 50 in tens. That's all for today, and see you next session inshallah. Bye bye.